Elder Scrolls Online, 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 Elder Scrolls Online. Hello, geek and geekettes, and welcome to another edition of the Geekstation with me, Mr. Sinn Sinny, and today we are taking our first look at Elder Scrolls Online. Now, I'm actually quite excited about this video because I got access to the beta way back, well, I say way back, it wasn't that long ago, it was only at the beginning of January, but pretty much the first weekend that we started the Geekstation. But unfortunately, due to a non-disclosure agreement, I was unable to make any videos and show off the game. That has now been lifted, fortunately, and Beth Vader are now allowing us to upload videos and share this game with the world, which is wonderful. He says, now I'm basically what you're looking at is post commentary because I was a bit unsure as to how I was going to do this video. I was a little unsure as to what would be the best way to put everything across, so I thought I would just play for a few hours, record the footage, cut it together. You got lots of chunks of combat, you got some talking and going on in the background, and I'm just going to explain to you my first impressions, my first thoughts on the game, and then hopefully just try and come to a conclusion at the end of it. So, I have been very excited about this game for a very long time, and there are a lot of reasons why, but one of them mainly is because it's the Elder Scrolls universe. I mean, I got Oblivion as a launch title with the Xbox 360 way back, and then I got into Skyrim a lot, and I love role-playing games just in general. I love the sense of immersion, and I mean, I'm a massive Fallout fan, for example, you know, and I love the Mass Effect series as well, things like that. So I'm a big fan of role-playing games, and having previously played WoW, and having spent a long time playing MMOs in general, this seems like the perfect game. It appears to be the perfect combination of MMOs and a single-player game. It's an MMO in the Skyrim universe. What could be better? Every single NPC is voiced. You get full immersive storytelling that, you know, encapsulates you in this ever-changing world and then sets you out on quests. I mean, it sounds amazing. The problem is that I just, at the moment, I just don't think it is delivering quite as well as it perhaps could be. And let me try and explain why. When you boot up a game like Skyrim, a single-player role-playing game, it is just you that's playing. It is your story, and the whole idea of the role-playing game is that you create a character that you go out and you forge your own destiny within the confines of the game, obviously. With an MMO, it's slightly different, because while you can all be heroes and you can all forge your own destiny to some extent, you always feel somewhat removed. Anyone, I think, in my opinion, anyone who's played Warcraft will feel that, is that an MMO is a different gameplay experience than a single-player role-playing game. So what happens when you smush these two together? Well, my experience of running around, and I haven't left the starting area. The footage that you'll see is all for one of the three main factions starting areas. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. And there's a lot of running around. There's a lot of just go to quest A, and you have to go to B and C, and then come back to A, and it's very generic, very almost quite stale MMO gameplay with the skin of a single-player role-playing game, which in itself doesn't necessarily sound bad. And although I have only put maybe maximum of, let's say, 10 hours into this game, I haven't been sucked in as much as if I had played 10 hours of Skyrim, or 10 hours of Fallout, or 10 hours of Oblivion. It lacks that, oh god, dare I say it, X factor that is needed for a new MMO to become the next big thing, just like Warcraft is, and that is clearly what they're hoping with Elder Scrolls Online, but I just don't think it's quite there. That being said, do not get me wrong, it is a very, very fun game to play. The combat is absolutely incredible. They have not fallen into the trap of generic MMO combat where it's just click, 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 then, you use your powers, use your powers, use your powers, click, 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 use your powers, use your powers. It feels very much like Skyrim combat. You'll see in this video I'm playing third person, but that's just as easy. You could play first person, but that's kind of what I'm getting at, is that even though it gives you the choice to play as first person, you're probably going to end up playing it third person because it's an MMO, and that's what you do in MMOs. It's not the same personal journey as if you were to play Skyrim. Now, don't get me wrong, I obviously know that there are plenty of people that play Skyrim and Oblivion and Fallout first person. I'm not one of them. I tend to play them... Oh, sorry, third person. I tend to play them all first person, really. But yeah, so the game is good, and for what I saw, there are a few bugs, but nothing game-breaking, nothing that... obviously that it's still in beta, so they're going to iron these out, and that's the reason that these games are in beta, is to iron out these bugs, so that's brilliant. The NPC acting is incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible. I mean, within the first 20 minutes, and this is obviously common knowledge now, everyone knows about it, but you meet John Cleese, and John Cleese's character is the perfect character written for him. There's also, the actor's name escapes me, it's Dumbledore from the Harry Potter films, from the third film onwards. Michael Gambon. He plays the Prophet in this. So you've got instantly recognisable actors helping you on your quest, pushing you into your quest, which is absolutely fantastic and brilliant, and makes you, that part is immersive. But it's just when you go out into the wider world and you realise that it's very samey, it's stuff that you've seen before. If you look here on the screen now, I'm showing you some of the characters, some of the skills that you can get. Again, it's very much like any other MMO. I was kind of hoping for something similar, the skills to be very similar to how they worked in Skyrim, and actually I was under the impression that they were. However, it appears, I'm running around wearing light armour, and as I'm running around and I level up, I'm gaining random attributes to heavy armour, to two-handed swordplay, to spells. Now, I don't know if that's deliberate or if that's a bug. I don't know if that's perhaps me just not paying much attention to what's going on. But it just seems a bit... There is so much that they have to cram into a massively multiplayer game. So much, because it's not a single-player game, and you have to extend out. I made the comment to Lavrico from the Geekstation earlier on, that when you play Skyrim... let's say you have to play through the storyline in 30 hours, let's say. With an MMO, it has to be 300 hours plus, because you've got so many people playing for so long, over such a long period of time, and because of that, the opening storyline, for this anyway, is just not as enthralling, it is not as gripping, it doesn't wrap you around in its arms and hug you and go, hey, let's go on a journey together. It just doesn't have that, which is very disappointing. The game looks beautiful, though. It really, really does. And one of the reasons I would want to play this is to go out into the world and explore. And I know that's a massive part of it. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do a lot of it because I haven't past the starting area, mainly because one of my quests keeps bugging out, and I can't quite figure out why, but it's not really bothering me because there's still loads of other stuff to do, but I can't leave the starting area, which is frustrating because I want to go out and explore this really beautiful world. I'm in the Khajiit area of Tamriel right now, and the architecture is fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to going back to those places in Skyrim where I can go and visit and see how it's changed, because obviously this game is set, hundreds of years before the Skyrim universe. So I'm really looking forward to going in and seeing, locations that are familiar but not at the same time. and I'm looking forward to going out and exploring and discovering. And that's one of the things, like, there is in this, I actually started the video with it with gameplay. That's kind of like an instance that you can just discover. You know, it's like a dungeon that you can go to just in Skyrim, just the same as those single player RPGs. You find those dungeons, you can go in and you can single player and you can solo them. But again, while they have their own interesting storylines, to be honest with you, they so far to me seem to be the most exciting part of the game. They definitely seem to be the most gripping because they have their own individual storylines that you can play out within the 20 minutes. The wider universe, the wider world, as I've already said, has got this expansive storyline that will take you weeks, months to play, and that's the idea. It's an MMO. But I think so many people are going to approach this with the idea of it being an MMO mixed together with a single-player RPG because of the success of Skyrim, the success of Oblivion, and frankly, that's kind of what the developers are beefing it up to be. And for those players, I think they will have an enjoyable experience. I just don't think they'll have a very satisfying experience. And I really want to hold my hands up and say I'm going to be wrong with this, because I've been excited about this for a really, really, really long time. And I was going to buy it on day one, going to get it, and I was going to get a year's subscription, and I was going to play it. But now I'm going to hold off just a little bit longer and see who else plays it, because I definitely think this is a game that you really need to have a group experience with. But in the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this first look. I know that I haven't shown you much, but that's because I've only had access to it for a few days, and then it's going to disappear, so I can't show you any more. Needless to say, when it is released, I'm sure one of us at the Geekstation will be playing it. We play a lot of the games, so we will show you more of it. But for now, this has been me, Mr. Sinn Sinny for the Geekstation, with my first look on Elder Scrolls Online. If you like the video, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It really, really helps our channel. But for now, I will see you on Tuesday. Adios, amigos.